Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to teach you how to properly court or date a woman that you're not in a relationship with. What I'm going to teach you in this video is mainly going to play off of two important things. Okay, the idea of what it is I'm going to teach you is if we can get the girl to think that she likes you more than you like her, that ties into a psychological principle which I've talked about in a few of my other videos, where if someone has to work to get your attention, your love, and your affection, because they're putting in work in order to obtain that, they're more likely to hang on to it. If you've ever been broken up with a girlfriend, I have several times in my life. I can look back at my behavior in the past. If you're dating a girl or you're in a relationship with a girl, you guys are basically like 50-50 on who texts first throughout the week or throughout the day. I remember I used to text my girlfriend good morning, good night. I used to send her like random love messages. I was all over the place with just showing my emotions to her. Because I grew up without a dad, I just didn't know any better. I didn't have another man to teach me that that's like more of a woman thing to do, because I grew up with my mom. Because I was doing that, I was acting more like a woman. Well, the girl knew that I was more into her than she was into me. And if the girl knows that her boyfriend likes her more than she likes her boyfriend, well, she doesn't really have to do anything to get her boyfriend's attention because he's always going to be there, which was me. And then she's likely going to take you for granted. You're going to become like needy and weak and insecure to her eyes, and eventually she'll end up breaking up with you. Girls break up with guys about 70 to 80% of the time, like they initiate it. So in this video then, I'm going to show you how to reverse that. So the girl does not think that you are always available. She's not going to be able to take you for granted if you follow this. Now I want to go ahead and give credit where credit's due. Corey Wayne, I started studying him very heavily a long time ago. The concept that I'm going to be teaching you, a lot of it comes down to what he teaches as well. Let's use this girl for example right here. There's a girl that came into my life recently, but she's about 5, almost 6 years younger than I am. Gorgeous girl. She's got an amazing body, and her and I are going to have our first date on Sunday. So the idea here is that we are talking about a girl that we just started dating. Let's say it's a girl and you just got her phone number. I'm going to tell you what to do from this point on in order to progress things until you eventually become into a relationship. It is the man's job to initiate the setting up of like dates until the woman's emotions are engaged. If we look at this from a step-by-step basis, I have this girl's phone number. I'm going to text her one time, sometime within that week, and I'm going to ask her when she's free to get together. The whole point here is what I'm going to teach you by texting a girl once a week and setting up one date a week. We want to stay one step behind the girl. If we're one step behind the girl, well, we're never over pursuing. She's never going to think that we like her more than she likes us, especially because women are emotional creatures. Once their emotions are engaged, this is where things really take off, and it's beneficial for men. With this girl right here, I texted her one time this week. I texted her on Wednesday. I set up a date with her on Sunday. I will not text her until I am at the location where we are going to go meet. After this date happens, if I think the date went well and I'm interested in seeing this girl again, I am going to wait until Wednesday or Thursday to try to set up a date again for Saturday or Sunday. Once you do this with the girl, if you're talking to a normal, emotionally available woman, what's going to happen is usually after the second or third date, and it on average, women in the Western world will sleep with a guy on the second to third date. So if a woman is sleeping with a man, that is because her emotions are now engaged. This is why I said you're going to notice a pattern with a lot of women around the second to third date. If things are going good and you guys hooked up, the woman will start texting you first after a couple days because she no longer wants to wait for you to text her one time a week. Once you get to that point where the girl starts texting you first, always assume that the girl wants to see you. I didn't know this in the past, and if you are trying to date a girl, or if you were broken up with and an ex-girlfriend comes back into your life, well, if a woman's thinking about you and she's choosing to reach out to you when she doesn't have to, especially if you were broken up with, do you honest to God think she wants to fucking talk to you if she broke up with you and she's reaching out? Not really. There are some cases where the girl if she started dating someone else and then she texts you, that guy that she's dating, maybe it's not going the way that she planned and she wants to see if she can keep you as a backup. That's a whole nother ballgame, okay? That's a whole other thing on what to do. I'm trying to get you guys to understand that if a girl reaches out to you, a normal, healthy woman, when she was a child, when she missed her father, she would go to her dad, get love and attention, and then run away. So what is she doing? When she misses her dad, she reaches out to the dad to get his love, attention, and affection. Once she's had enough of him, she goes off and plays. If a woman texts you first, she misses you, she wants to see you and get your love and attention and affection. That is when you should say, hey, I would love to see you. When are you free to get together? The girl will then give you a time and day or several days when she's available to get together, and then you get to pick when you get to see her then. The first 1 to 3 weeks, okay, let's just push it back. Let's just say 3 weeks. You as a man are going to ask this girl out on a date 1 time a week for the first 3 weeks. Once the girl starts texting you first, even if it's after, let's say your first date was so fucking awesome and you guys didn't like hook up, but you guys like kind of made out, fooled around, but you didn't like completely have sex. There are cases where you will still have a girl reach out to you first before you do the next week. And if she does that, then you don't have to wait. Just ask her to hang out. And then you can just continue things from there. After week 3 goes by, you're going to notice a pattern. Most women will start to text you first. Once that woman starts texting you first, then you can plan a time to hang out with her. A couple other things I want to point out in this video, like how do you know when you should meet a girl out and when you should pick her up or if she should come over to your house? Here is my general rule of thumb. If this is a girl that, like, if it's your first date and you guys like met at like the gym or the grocery store or whatever and you guys don't have any history together, I would agree to meet that girl out in public. Because if it's your first date together, you really don't know if you're going to get along well. She probably doesn't trust you enough to where she's comfortable giving you her address, especially because a lot of guys are, fucking weird, they're creepy, or they could hurt a woman. She's not going to feel safe just giving you her address. I think if the first date goes well, I think the second date should be like, hey, what's your address? I'm going to be a gentleman. I'm going to come and pick you up, and then I'm going to take you out. So after the first date, I would ask girl to come and pick her up, and if she hesitates again, you can still agree to meet her out. But I would think after your third date with a girl, if she's still choosing to meet you out somewhere, I think that's a kind of a big red flag. If this girl doesn't trust you enough to let you be a man and come and pick her up or come to your house first and then you take her somewhere, if she's not willing to do that, I'm willing to bet that she has trust issues. A lot of these girls will be like avoidance if you know how to spot them. Even with that, I have experience dating avoidant women. When their emotions aren't engaged, they're going to be very open. They're not afraid of anything yet. They still might have trust issues, but from my experience, until that emotional attachment gets formed, they won't have an issue like being open and feeling like a normal, healthy, secure person. That is when you should meet a girl out and when you should pick her up. So again, I would say after the second or third time, if she's still choosing to meet you out, I would tell her, hey man, listen, I would really like to be a man and come and pick you up at your house, but I'm getting a sense that you still don't trust me enough to do that, and I'm not too sure that this is going to work out in the long run. You would say something like that, okay? Or just move on. When it comes to actually going on dates with the girl, one of the things I want to point out is this is going to be very depending on your age. Like if you're in high school and you're watching this video, you can't be out late. You're likely going to have to go on a date with a girl during the day whenever you can be available. If you are an adult and you are trying to go on a date with girls, keep it in the evening. I am going to see this girl at 4 p.m. That is closer to the evening. Friends do stuff during the day, but lovers, romantic partners, do stuff in the evening. So if a woman's choosing to spend time with you in the evening, she knows that romance is potentially on the table. Women just know this a lot better than men do. For example, if you ever ask a girl to come over to your house, and if she says no, that's because she just doesn't want to get intimate with you, because she knows, well, if you invite her over to your house in the evening, sex is likely going to happen. Women are much better at picking up on levels of interest than men are. But if you do go out on a date, keep it to the evening, because we want to be romantic partners. If you do stuff during the day, that's going to signal that you're just, you're okay with being friends. So do not do that. Keep the dates at night. Women will look at a date. So if you take her to a restaurant, that's one date. And then if you take her to a park and then you guys go to a bar, that is 3 dates in one night. That is how women look at things. Whereas for a man, to us, that would only be 1 date because it's just one night. But to women, when you change the environment, I don't know how this works, but when you change the environment, women, they're in a different setting. They think that's like a new date. If you can go to different places with this woman in one night, because remember I said a Western woman will sleep with you around the second or third date. So if you go to 3 different locations in one night, that's 3 different quote unquote dates in the woman's mind. Am I saying she's gonna fuck you that night? No, I'm not, but it does increase your chances greatly of doing that. So with this girl right here, I'm taking her to 2 different places in the short time frame that we're going to have together, and this is in the evening. I can promise you, if you just follow along with what it is that I just taught you in this video when it comes to like the time frame of how you should date a girl, and then when you should go on dates with the girl, and then how many places you should go, you're going to increase the chances of you hooking up with her, but you're also going to stay one step behind the woman. And remember, I said at the beginning of this video, we want the girl to think that she likes you more. Because if she thinks she likes you more, she's going to try to work to get your love and attention. Women know that men want sex. Well, if she likes you more, she's going to likely put out easier to try to get your affection and your attention. This isn't manipulation. This is just basic like sales 101. Like if somebody really wants your product, they're convincing themselves that they want what you have to sell, they're gonna find a way to buy it. If the girl wants you as a man, and she's going to convince herself why she wants to be with you, and she's going to do things in order to be with you. So if you like this video, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, if you're a guy right now that wants to get better at pickup, dating, and relationships, there's a link in my description for a 17-page cheat sheet where I put together a document that's designed to be looked at when you're in a situation with the girl and you do not want to mess it up. Right? This is going to be from my experience when it comes to dating, pickup, and relationships, and then also I throw in a couple things from, the fucking several books and thousands of pages that I've read from several other coaches. There is a video on the next page that will explain how this will help you. It's $13.99, very affordable. If you think it'll help, pick it up. There are a couple other links. You get my free book on dating and relationships down below, or you can book a one-on-one coaching call with me. With that being said, guys, hey, if you like this video, man, check out this one right here. There's a ton of things that you're going to learn in it as well that will help you in your dating and relationship life. And with that being said, hey, man, I'll see you in the next one.